Hey there, everybody. So tonight, um, since I just got done watching the newest DC animated movie entitled The Legion of Superheroes, here's my review of it. So, guys, this version of the Legion of Superheroes, basically, tells the story of the fateful demise of Krypton through a Supergirl's perspective, and the movie starts out with a Kara and her mom Laura basically having a friendly competitive race um, the, throughout throughout the arc of Krypton's Argo City, and a- and through some crafty outdoing her mom and kind of cheating, Kara actually manages to win, and her and her mom Laura both say, "Sorry, I can't hear you back there, from first place up right in here." And after Kara wins by taking a shortcut through some trees, um, and both of them kind of um, just just relax by activating Krypton's r- r- robot services for everything, including the park bench and even the water. And then Supergirl says, "Wow, wow, this is kind of nice. I I just wish you could be around a little bit more, Mom." And then Laura's like, I I I I know, sweetie. It just. And then Supergirl proceeds to say, I I I I I know you're in charge of the military guild that watches over Argo City, the science division, and you barely have any time at all to do it in. But I still wish we could have more time to be mother and daughter." And then her mom's like, "My Kara, you come before anything. So if it's that important to you, despite what the rest of Krypton and Argo City means, I, I'll just have to make more time from now on." And then and then that's when Laura basically gives Supergirl her badge to officially be able to join Argo City and Krypton's military guild. Although just as Supergirl's about ready to put the badge on her, Krypton's fatal demise actually comes, and of course it is because no one listened to Superman's father, Joel, warning them of Krypton's imminent destruction. And so Supergirl's mom um, t- takes takes Kara to the one 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 functioning escape pod, because all the rest failed to activate, and and right before Supergirl gets sent to Earth, um, her mom says, "Building these escape pods it is the reason I've been gone so much. But Kara, my love, find your cousin when you get to Earth, and remember, I'm so proud to have been able to have been your mom. But the problem is, guys, this time around, um, Kara um, escape pod actually ends up getting hit by an asteroid and knocks her out. so she arrived on Earth decades after she's supposed to. So of course that means Clark, um, Clark, her cousin, aka Superman, it isn't as little as Kara as Supergirl remembers. But the problem is, guys, even after the few months that that she's actually been on Earth, and a- a- and despite not being anywhere near as violent um su- as she was in Superman Batman Apocalypse, um Supergirl still can't adjust to life in the 21st century. In fact, she still causes mass destruction all all throughout downtown Metropolis. Um, just trying to run up the mall, just trying to run to the mall to get some new clothes because Clark told her to. Because Kara still doesn't understand that Earth isn't as advanced as Krypton was. The the we don't have pods that will activate everything for us, and in doing so, she's for trying to pick up these new threads. Kara basically destroys half of downtown Metropolis on on top of destroying it even more. Try, trying to help Superman and Batman deal with Grundy, who has escaped from jail again, and uh and it's and it's after all of them basically put Grundy back to sleep by knocking him out. Um, that Batman says, "Hey, Clark, we need to talk." But the problem with her is you were so happy to meet another surviving Krypton that 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 you're letting that affection and that joy cloud her judgment. Her power is too unpredictable. I don't trust her. And then of course Supergirl overhears this and flies back 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 home to the Kent farm, which is the same place that Superman used to go when he had a bad day. And then but before this happens, um Superman tells Batman, "Hey Bruce, I don't like what you're implying about my cousin. You're still saying, just like you did again back in Superman Batman Apocalypse, that you don't think my cousin can be trusted." Um, a- a- and so Supergirl says to Clark when he says, "Hey, I know Earth isn't Krypton, but it can still be home if you let it." And then Supergirl's like, "No, Krypton, even though it's gone, it's always going to be home for me. You may have somewhat forgotten that because you've been here so long, but I haven't." Uh, and then she proceeds to say, "I heard what Batman said. Um, he basically wants to kick me off the planet, so go ahead and kick me off." And then Superman actually says, "Hey, look, Bruce would have probably did the same thing to me had I known him when I first got here." And so Superman actually comes up with the idea by using this thing called the time bubble, which Saturn Girl gave to him, that Supergirl can basically train how to use her powers better with a legion of superheroes in the 31st century. Um, and 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 that's pretty much all we get from Batman and Superman throughout the entirety of the movie, guys. Afterwards, it basically shifts to Kara and Brainiac 5 basically having to stop the original Brainiac who has who who has who has thought to have been killed by Superman courtesy of a bullet. But what people don't know is he is actually the leader of the Dark Circle, which is this terrorist cult that's existed for 1,000 years because Brainiac founded it that long ago, and they're basically this terrorist organization with an unknown goal, and Batman basically calls the rest of the Justice League when he actually corners a member of the Dark Circle and says, what are you doing here in Brainiac's cell that all that's left of him is his head. And then all this Dark Circle member says is the circle remains unbroken. And then Kara ends up meeting the rest of the possible recruits for induction into the Legion. They include Bouncer Boy, Arms Fall Off Boy, Triplicate turned duplicate girl, Dawn Star, Invisible Kid, Phantom Girl, this Krypton obsessed fanboy, Mon-El, and of course Brainiac 5. Now the thing is, guys, everybody basically doesn't trust Brainiac 5 at first because obviously he's a clone of course Brainiac himself. Obviously one of the most notorious villains in DC Comics history, and the three Legion heads that have been left in charge of the Legion by Saturn Girl, Black Lightning, and somebody that I'm going to assume is potentially Starboy, because Saturn Girl and the others are all dealing with another terrorist attack on a distant planet, and Timberwolf, Chemical King, and Shadow Girl for some reason can't get all of them, but what they all agree on is they don't trust Brainiac 5 at all, even though Saturn Girl vouched for him especially. And at first, guys, Supergirl immediately thinks that Brainiac 5 is actually his grandfather, the original Brainiac, and then and then Brainiac 5 tries to say, hey, look, this shield I invented, the more you try and hurt me, the stronger the shield gets. And then Kara and Brainiac 5 are reprimanded by a Timberwolf and Chemical King and the third girl I mentioned a minute ago. And basically, guys, that they're almost sent to detention. But basically, what ends up happening is, Brainiac 5 actually did hack himself into the Legion Academy's computer. That that's why Timberwolf and the others don't remember voting him in, but that or accepting him in for an application to potentially join the academy. But that's because Monel, the Kryptonix fanboy, is actually a member of the Dark Circle himself, and the Dark Circle's ultimate goal is to get all of this thing that's in the secured weapons vault in the Legion's possession, actually created by on the Green Lantern planet Oa, called the Miracle Machine. And the Miracle Machine does what it suggests. It will grant its last user anything they want. But the problem is, guys, because Brainiac 5's other clone siblings basically have a history of going rogue. That's why Brainiac 5 had to hack into the Legion system, because he knew originally nobody else would believe him. In fact, before all this happens, Kara and Brainiac 5 do start to have this like kind of crush on each other, but I hate you type of thing. But but after Monel kills Triplet Girl's third clone, which turns her into Duplicate Girl. That's when Supergirl decides to believe him, and they team up kind of as a duo, because Mon-El and the rest of the Dark Circle members have basically captured everybody else and thrown them in the prison cells until the end of the movie. And we find out, like I said a minute ago, that Brainiac has actually fully been revived, but by using the bodies of Brainiac 5's own clone siblings to basically restore his own body, because by the time his brain was regenerated by the rest of the Dark Circle, his original body was useless, and Brainiac needed Brainiac 5 to overhear the conversation about breaking in the vault to steal the Miracle Machine to basically create a new world that's pure and and free of the Legion's rotting interference, because Brainiac 5, with them being a 12th level Endors, he's the only person strong enough to 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 break through the vault security system. But what ends up happening is Bra- 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 Brainiac's other clone siblings actually end up breaking free of Brainiac's control and say that they'll each be the ones to to use the Miracle Machine to lead the Dark Circle into the future and not Brainiac. And so, guys, through a very Mortal Kombat fatality type of way, Brainiac's five's own clone siblings actually do redeem themselves, but but by destroying their own grandfather, because basically, guys, how Brainiac's new body is constituted, it's Brainiac's head with basically all Brainiac 5's other clones basically stitched together around him, and and the movie ends with a with a with with Kara actually being able to say goodbye to her mom Laura, with the help of the Miracle Machine, even though it has the ability to bring back Krypton. But Supergirl knows that in the 31st century reality, the Miracle Machine is truly no good. So Kara has to make a speech very similar to what Superman gave to his created son Bobby in the last Son of Krypton, the Superman the Animated Series three-parter that was released as its own movie back in the day, and the movie ends, guys, with the Brainiac 5 basically proving that he is different than his grandfather or any of his rogue siblings, and they all get inducted into the Legion. And Supergirl does decide to stay in the 31st century as the as to train with the newest class of inducted Legion members. And guys, the movie ends with a Superman and Batman potentially sapped up the War World by manga, as a tease for Justice League War World, because the one other tease to Justice League War World that we have is Brainiac says that there are threats on the horizon that only I, using my supreme genius and the Dark Circle's massive power in being able to stop anything from interfering with my plan. That there's threats on the horizon that only I would be able to deal with. And that's how the movie ends, guys. Have a good one.